Hey Tony, it's Tuesday. And first off, to answer your question of the week, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. I think I'll have fun playing my ARC Trooper. Then if and when he dies, I'll play like an ARC Trooper or something. I don't know. That'll be fun. Yeah, I think it'll be it'll be a good time. So what I want to talk about this week, I've actually done this video a couple times now, but instead I'm gonna talk about Witcher, just because we had that session. It was really fun, but we're nearing the end, and I'm like trying to come up with a good way to end it because the campaign has been so long lasting. Everyone is so high level now that I really want something to like accumulate all of it together or culminate all of it together and make it so it's a great campaign. And I'm trying to I'm struggling a little bit on what to do on that because like we obviously have our the plot line of going to get the flower for Ilaria, but I feel like I want to I have to give some other like a carrot there to really, I think, put it all together and like really, I really care about everyone who's played this game for so long. I mean, this game has been ongoing since probably 2021 now, maybe even longer. Now, obviously there's been a lot of starts and stops. A couple kids have been born during the game, but I really want to make sure that this ending really honors everyone who's played in it so far and really makes it so we'll go, oh, this was totally worth it. This was a great game. Like I kind of look back and sometimes like ending games can be really, really hard because I mean, half the time they just kind of end because people stop coming, people, start getting tired of the game, what have you. That happens all the time. I've been in more games than I can count in which they've just kind of ended without, a big finale. But I've had a few games that have had these big finales, and those ones are the ones that I remember. And I want this game to kind of have that as well. And I have some ideas, but it's important to me that to really get everyone in to really have fun with it. Now, one of the best games I think I've ever run was the Masks game that you, me, Casey, Theo, and loosely Taylor and Jay played. It was mostly the game was mostly was mostly you, Theo, and Casey, but we saw the other players in there too, and Justice, of course. No, actually, Justice wasn't in that game, but that game was one of the best I ever did because it had a great story. I think I certainly got the idea from you regarding Bloodshot, but I think I had a really good time kind of building it all up and really making it so it was like a comic book. That is a game I think you could actually make a legitimate comic book about. And I think it'd be a pretty good comic book. And for Witcher, it's different because it has not had one, story through the whole game. It has had many different minor arcs, the Felonious arc was one of my favorites I've ever run because I think that was just it built a character that was fascinating and flawed and resulted in not insignificant amount of emotional drama, and I like that. I think that can be really good and healthy for a game, and so I'm really hoping that can do another good ending. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about is ending is hard, and I'm really trying to get a good one on this one. Now you can compare it to other games that I've been a part of in which they had a real through story. I think I personally have had maybe 3 or 4 games that I've run. Again, I've been DMing for 12 years. No, 13 years. Yeah, 13 years. Because I was 19 when I started. And I've had, I think, maybe 3 or 4 games that I can, look at and go, oh, this was the beginning to end. And, I've run a lot of games during that time. I've run a lot of games that never came to the conclusion because of, one reason or another. People got busy. People stopped having fun with the characters. And, things just change. And that's something that I think, every DM has to kind of understand. But it makes it all the better when you have a game that does go to a conclusion And I'm looking forward to this one. I think this is going to be, I hope it's one we're all going to remember, because it's been such a long-running game that I'm hoping I come up with a good one. I have a couple ideas that are kind of, rolling around in my head, but it's going to be a little tough. But I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. Like, it was kind of rambly, but it's late, and again, I made this video about 3 or 4 times today, with different story, different topics that I kind of thought it wasn't a great topic, or kind of got sidetracked halfway in. But I think this is going to be, I want this game to be one that we can remember. So Tony, my question for you is, have you had any games that you have completed? And if so, what are some of your favorite stories that you've told? Tony, I'll see you on Friday. Later, bro.